and I quote, that our residents face crumbling infrastructure, unreliable water supply, and a high electricity tariffs. Madam Speaker, contrary to the calls for my head under the auspices that I and my executive have been doing nothing, I remain committed to my obligation to the residents in the city of Johannesburg, to those who have made Johannesburg their home, to businesses that are the heartbeat of our economy, and to the young people who, just like me, a black child from Soweto, Orange Farm, El Dorado Park, Diepsloot, and Westbury, are waiting and hoping for a better future. Madam Speaker, it is with collective responsibility to our citizens and my personal duty to my birth city that I present the executive reports to this council. Amongst these reports, Madam Speaker, is a detailed account of the city's infrastructure asset management investment program. This program, Madam Speaker, outlines a comprehensive and strategic approach to addressing the critical infrastructure challenges the city of Johannesburg is facing. By implementing initiatives under key themes, outcome-based planning reforms, strategy-led budgeting reforms, capital delivery improvements, operations maintenance investments, and cross-cutting measures, we aim to enhance infrastructure governance, delivery and maintenance, while maximizing value for all our residents and businesses. A key component to this program, and I address this to our civic society, who marched in the city in the past week, is guided by principles of collaboration. This, coupled with key elements of innovation, sustainability, and equity, underpin our commitment to addressing our infrastructure challenges. Additionally, two critical reports are being tabled today, Madam Speaker. The turnaround strategy for City Power and Johannesburg Water. Both entities are embarking on transformative journeys to address current challenges and secure reliable and sustainable future service delivery. Once approved, City Power will adopt the innovative model as the cornerstone of its comprehensive turnaround strategy. This model provides a holistic framework for assessing and improving City's Power's operations across 7 key dimensions: asset creation, asset maintenance and operations, customer trust and satisfaction, sound finances, capable and motivated people, governance and a supportive environment, and leadership and management. With steadfast implementation and continual adaptation, City Power will emerge stronger, more efficient, and more aligned with evolving energy sector. The water and sanitation service in Johannesburg is experiencing serious challenges and is not sustainable. Long-term underinvestment, weakening financial performance, and declining services have put our water and sanitation services in a precarious position. Without significant changes, the reliability of these services will be increasingly compromised, negatively and affecting health, and new investment critical for job creation and economic growth in the city of Johannesburg. Johannesburg Water's turnaround strategy plan adopts 5 strategic shifts as essential pillars of improving the financial and technical performance of Johannesburg Water. These shifts, Madam Speaker, are critical for service delivery and financial sustainability, offering a clear framework for seeking financial support and must be pursued ambitiously. One of the articles which followed as the march, within the march this weekend, was accompanied by a picture with a placard calling for Kliptown development, now or never. Fellow councillors, item 84 seeks the approval of the Kliptown Urban Development Framework. The proposed spatial concept for Kliptown aims to enhance public environment, create an efficient movement system, improve social well-being, promote local economic development, upgrade informal settlements, and eradicate infrastructure backlog. So yes, it's Kliptown development now. The Kliptown development report will be followed by a report seeking council's approval to increase the poverty bands, bringing many more indigents into the fold to benefit from the city's extensive social package, expanded social package, which offers, amongst others, its basket of services, which include electricity and water allocations to those who need it the most. These reports are to be tabled today, and the outcomes of many months of dedicated efforts seeking a true understanding of the real needs in this city and finding workable and sustainable solutions to our problems. Let us commit to these transformative strategies and approve these reports together, resolving to do better and better for those we serve. Madam Speaker, with that, I'd like to table the executive reports and the recommendations thereto. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. To your left.
Councillor, I'm not sure. Councillor Lowe, I'm not sure what the point of order is.
Will Mayor rise on a point of order, Madam Speaker?
Councillor, the mayor tabled the recommendations to council. I'm not sure what the point of order is.
Well, if you allow me to rise,
I'm really
I'll be able
not
to
going
explain.
to allow you. I'm not allowing you. Can I have Councillor Rapadu to MMC Masuku first?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Firstly, for acceding to our request on the elevation and the urgency report. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the executive, we would like to withdraw item 88 from community development. We would also, which is, just want to put it on record. Item 88, which is the request from the estate of Ernest Hanau. We would also like to withdraw the item 77, which is the decanting of Metro Center. Those are the reports that we have been requested to withdraw. I can't withdraw 100. It's not my report.
Thank you, MMC. So item 88, COMDEF is withdrawn. Item 77, decanting of the Metro Center. Item 100 is a legislature report. Okay, thanks for that. Can I now ask Councillor Rapadu to table the legislature report? Just hold on. MMC?
Before we move to the legislature report, I would like to recommend you conclude, because you didn't, remember the mayor, you had asked for responses to questions, and then the whip asked for a caucus, so you didn't conclude on the questions, and you never gave the opportunity for the executive to respond to the questions. So before you move to the legislature, I'd recommend we conclude on item 5.
Thank you, MMC. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Item 5 was, questions for written reply, Executive Mayor. Apologies, councillors and everybody.
No, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Once again, I'd just like to note that the responses have been uploaded on the cloud. Thank you.
Thank you. There we have it. The mayor says the questions has been uploaded. So let's check, and if there's anything, we'll come back. Councillor Rapadu, can you please table the legislature?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Fellow councillors, I rise on behalf of the legislature to table the reports from the legislature for consideration by council. But before we can move on, Madam Speaker, I would like also to withdraw item 100 in terms of council attendance by councillors. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rapadu. That was the return of councillors, right? Thank you.
Councillors, on recommendations to council, we're starting off with the escalated items, starting off with item 89. Oh, sorry, Item 89, sorry, which is the recruitment and appointment process of the Executive Director for Community Development position.
Thank you, Acting Secretary to Council. Item 89, we will have Councillor Ran from the DA. We're on to item 89, ED for Community Development position.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, DA leadership, members of council, esteemed guests. As we gather today to discuss the appointment of the Executive Director of Community Development, it is crucial that we uphold and continue to uphold the values of good governance, a strategic priority for our city as noted in the report. The process outlined in this report before us has been thorough and transparent, and I applaud that, as it is our duty to ensure that this standard is maintained. The past has shown us the consequences of mismanagement and corruption, which have left our city facing numerous challenges that we are trying to grapple with. From dry taps to crumbling infrastructure, the impact of poor governance is evident. So we cannot afford to compromise on the integrity of our appointments. So we must prioritize the selection of individuals based on merit and capability. The recruitment and selection process for this key position has been conducted in line with the regulations of appointment and conditions of employment of senior managers. It is essential that we continue to adhere to these guidelines, ensuring that the selection panel remains free from political interference and focuses solely on the qualifications and competencies of candidates that apply. Mr. Sianda Mkwana, thank you, Mngwa, so apologies. The top-ranked candidate has demonstrated exceptional qualifications and experience, making him well-suited for this role. His extensive background in community development and senior management positions within our city provides a strong foundation for addressing the challenges we face. In supporting this appointment, we must remember our responsibility to the residents of Johannesburg. They deserve leaders who are committed to transparency, accountability, and the betterment of our city. Let us ensure that our decisions today reflect these values and that we put the needs of the community, of our communities first. In conclusion, the DA caucus in Johannesburg supports this appointment for the Executive Director of Community Development. Let us move forward with integrity and renewed commitment to serving our people of Johannesburg. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ran. Councillor Jay Ngwenya from the EFF.
Somlomo ngiyabingelela kuwena mphathi wedolobha izikhulu zedolobha abaphathi benhlangano EFF la eGoli ozakwethu kwi-EFF kanye nozakwethu edolobheni izivakashi kanye nabahlali bedolobha. Somlomo ngiyaqhubeka kanjani ngingakabongi ukukhula kwenhlangano EFF esineminyaka eyishumi 11 years 11 years abanye babethe angeke sibambe lapho kodwa silana ke kukubi kokuhle. With that being said, Somlomo, from the EFF perspective, we acknowledge, we note and acknowledge the 4 recommendations that have been tabled on reports. With that being said, I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya. Councillor Ntombela from Action SA. Try the mic next door to you. IT, can we sort the mics?
Thank you, Speaker, colleagues in the House. I'll be speaking to this item 89, recruitment and appointment process of the Executive Director.
Councillor, can you please speak into the mic? We can't hear you.
Recruitment and appointment process of the Executive Director, Community Development position. It is, Speaker, shocking, and it left with no words to express upon ranking the current Director of Sport, Recreation candidate, Mr. Sianda Nugwa, the first candidate of the Executive Director of Community Development. The appointment comes as a shock because on his CV, he has mentioned that from 2016 to date, he directs the development of sport and recreation strategy, leads and control financial, human, and physical resources within sports and recreation at the departmental level. And also he added to ensure the delivery of quality professional sports and recreation services in line with the city's growth and development strategy. Recreation services to the community. Further on his CV, Madam Speaker, he adds that he manages, directs 117 recreation facilities, 57 swimming pools, over 200 sports facilities, and oversight over more than 500 lease facilities. Speaker, to add salt on the wound, as well as an operational budget of plus 400 million an annual budget. it came as a shock because of he's responsible of these recreation centers and the swimming pools. Last week, Monday, the 23rd, Section 79 Community Development Committee had an oversight inspection on swimming pools in Region G and D. What we found upon the oversight of these swimming pools was shocking. Especially a swimming pool in Ennerdale, Region G, was completely destroyed and vandalized. Funny enough to find a security guarding the very facility. I couldn't understand what was a security guarding there. A question is that the security guarding something that it's not there. Almost all the swimming pools, we went for an oversight from the state they are in. It's evident that those swimming pools are not in operation. Little observation from the oversight of the creation facilities under Mr. Sianda Mnukwa. His CV reflection and the work of the facilities, it's not a true reflection. I think even what is also surprising as well, MMC Makwenchu was one of the panels during these interviews. Did MMC really agreed and supported the first candidate, Mr. Sianda Mnukwa, as the right person or the right candidate for the position? In realization, a world-class city, the state institutions must operate free from political interference or
50
cadre
seconds,
deployment.
Councillor.
Our facilities should solely be, to fulfill the community development mandate through delivering services with pride to its community, the people of South Africa. The candidate must be selected on merit based on a person who can perform his or her duties and someone with passion to serve the community. Based on the state of the city sports and recreation centers, on the watch of the first candidate, Mr. Sianda Mnukwa, he doesn't deserve the position. He must remain in the current position as a director and fix the mess behind. As Action SA, we note the appointment with consent. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Nguze from the ANC. Councillor Nguze. Councillor? Item 89, recruitment and appointment process of the ED of Community Development.
I'm being sabotaged, Speaker. Oh, okay. Thank you. Speaker, morning to yourself. Greetings to the leadership of the City of Johannesburg, political heads and administrators. Speaker, this is one of the critical positions that must be filled. A very senior position in the City of Johannesburg that will assist in terms of speeding up service delivery to our people. So it is for that reason that the ANC supports that this position must be filled. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Nguze. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as already articulated, that this is a critical position, and part and parcel of our commitment is the government of local unity to ensure stability within senior management of the City of Johannesburg, and a candidate who is well deserving and has been in our city with the experience required, and we therefore request that Council approves the appointment of Mr. Sian. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. Councillors? Recommendations are on page 89.8 to 89.9. Is the item agreed to? Thank you. It's agreed to.
We are now on item 90, which is recruitment and appointment process of the Executive Director for Environment and Infrastructure Services position.
Councillor Enran from the DA.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. Good day, DA leadership, members of council and esteemed guest. We convene again on a whole lot of HR items here today, as proposed to look at the appointment of the Executive Director of Environment and Infrastructure Services. It is essential that we reflect on our duty to uphold good governance, as stated in all of our reports, a principle that we claim to cherish. Today, I must express our deep concern and opposition to the current recommendation. The Democratic Alliance has consistently advocated for appointments based on merit and capability. Our reservations about Mr. Tebogo Madiba's appointment are not just about the candidate himself, but also the context surrounding his vacancy. The previous executive director, Christian Ellis, was a highly capable leader with a robust background in infrastructure and environment. His sudden removal from the metro, orchestrated by the city manager, was executed without a transparent explanation or any evidence of misconduct. This abrupt dismissal under the cloud of suspicion suggests ulterior motives rather than legitimate governance concerns. Mr. Ellis, during his tenure, demonstrated competence and dedication to his role, making significant contributions to the city's infrastructure development and environmental management. The lack of clarity and justification for his removal raises serious questions about the integrity of the process. It appears that this was a calculated move to sideline a capable city official, preventing him from reapplying for the position once his contract concluded in July 2024. This effectively removed him from the talent pool, despite his qualifications and proven track record, and at the cost of the Johannesburg ratepayers, who had to bear the expense of his salary while he was unjustly kept from active duty. The removal of Mr. Ellis, followed by this new recommendation, feels like a smokescreen to replace a highly skilled individual with someone potentially more compliant with certain agendas, rather than prioritizing the best interests of the city. The residents of Johannesburg deserve transparency and honesty from their leaders, and this situation has done little to inspire confidence in the process at play. We cannot support the recommendation of Mr. Madiba for this critical role. Our city's infrastructure and environment demand leadership that is not only technically proficient, but also ethically sound and transparent in their conduct. The recent actions taken against Mr. Ellis were not only a disservice to him, but also to the people of Johannesburg, who rely on competent governance to manage the city's complex infrastructure and environmental needs, of which we can see the crumbling of that daily as we drive around the city of Johannesburg. In conclusion, we urge the council to reconsider the proposed appointment. The removal of Mr. Ellis was an injustice that undermines the integrity of our municipal governance. We must commit to a transparent, fair, and merit-based appointment process that truly reflects the best interests of our city and its residents. Let us not compromise on the quality of our leadership, and let us demand accountability for the decisions that impact the future of Johannesburg. The Democratic Alliance in Johannesburg cannot in good conscience support this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ran. Councillor Jane Gwenya from the EFF.
Speaker, I thank you. Speaker, we really need to appreciate the work that is done by the government of local unity. Government of local unity have actually acknowledged the fact that our Hollywood, what is not something that needs to be entertained because the city is not doing so well. So, siyabonga government of local unity for the work you are doing, and we are happy that as EFF we are making contribution. With that being said, as ECOJ, it is important that we acknowledge the writings on these documents that are abiding. Reason being that in here, there was another political party that when documents were brought here, they came up with stories of some sort, hence the emphasis that we are saying these documents are abiding. With that also being said is that we appreciate that there's a selection panel. That selection panel needs to be respected because we may think that we know so much over there.
Just hold on, Councillor. Councillor Rapado, please.
Can I continue?
Yeah, you can continue now.
Ngiyabonga. So, yeah, so as I was saying that there's a selection panel, and on that selection panel, we need to acknowledge that as councillors, we may think we know too much. That selection panel is the best we have. With that being said, we, from EFF perspective, we are noting and acknowledging the 4 recommendations. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya. Councillor Gancho from Action SA.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on item 89, referring to the recruitment and appointment of the new director. 89.
Councillor,
sorry.
we are on item 90.
Item 90, sorry, Speaker. Speaker, I just want to clarify that we're here to address the issue of the appointment of the new person in this position now, and not to prosecute reasons why his predecessor might have been removed. And from our vantage point, we see no reason at this juncture not to note and to approve this appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gancho. Councillor Nguze S from the ANC.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I think it is the general feeling that our infrastructure is collapsing. Residents are telling us, politicians, the feeling is similar. So there's a necessity, Speaker, that someone must occupy this position to develop a turnaround strategy for the city of Johannesburg. It is for that reason that the African National Congress supports to fill this position. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nguze. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think at some point we need to address the hatred that is always thrown at the city manager. Everything is about Floyd Brink. He did this, he did that. There was a panel, and the selection panel sat and decided collectively that the candidate is the right candidate. And I think that we must not always throw mud at somebody even if it's not necessary. I mean, we can't always be blaming one person. If you are not in court about Floyd Brink, you are insulting him in council. Honestly, what is it that he has done for you to all? I can, even now, civil society is saying he must be removed. So it's like there's this concerted campaign to have Floyd Brink's name all over every day. Leave the poor guy alone. He's a city manager, he's an administrator. Let him do his job. Speaker, as rightfully said by Councillor Ngwenya and Councillor Gancho and Councillor Nguze, we need stability in that department. We can't speak about people who are no longer here. Let's focus on the way forward and take Johannesburg forward and serve the residents of Joburg, and ask that we support the appointment of Tebogo Modiba. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC Masuku. Councillors, the recommendations are on page 90.8 to page 90.9. Is the item agreed to? Is the item agreed to? The yeses have it. Colleagues, the yeses have it. People around me, even yeses had it, it was a yeses. Councillor Christians?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I
Councillors, can I listen to Councillor Christians?
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I rise in terms of Rule 84 for the Democratic Alliance vote against this to be recorded. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. The yeses.
Councillors, we are on item 91, which is recruitment and appointment process of the Group Executive Director for Group Information Communication and Technology Management position.
Thank you, councillors. Can we start with Councillor Gancho from Action SA?
Speaker, as Action SA, we note this report and approve the recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Gancho. Can we have Councillor Rand from the Democratic Alliance?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings to everybody again. Okay, we are obviously, we are discussing some very serious items here as HR items, which were going to be the leaders of departments and entities across our city, which are the people, the very people that are going to need to make sure that our city functions and doesn't keep falling apart. So unfortunately, picking on the poor guy as the senior accountancy officer in the city of Joburg, he is the most senior person that is held accountably liable for everything that happens in the city. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. We also don't, as noted in one of the previous reports, we're not just not approving or not agreeing for the sake of not agreeing. When we have concerns, it is our duty as sworn public reps to raise these issues when we see them so that they are noted. With regards to this appointment, unfortunately, there will be others later on that we will support, but this cannot be an appointment that we support at this point. So I rise on the Group Executive Director of Group Information, Communications and Technology Management, a serious position within the city of Joburg, because if we do not have our technology running, the city gets brought to its knees. Unfortunately, from the Democratic Alliance's perspective, we cannot support the recommendation of Mr. Aubrey Machala, for this is a crucial role. I'm going to outline why we cannot support this. Under his current leadership as Group Head of ICT, okay, he has had the tenure and the department's performance has notably been lacking, with significant failures in achieving key performance indicators. The ICT department's inefficiencies under his leadership raise serious concerns about his suitability for another 5 years in the same role. Failure to achieve KPIs. The department has consistently failed to achieve more than 67% of its KPI performance indicators in the last 5 years. 67%. That's not even a B. Mediocrity, it's astounding. Critical areas of underperformance include Wi-Fi hotspot rollouts. No progress has been made in this, in rolling out Wi-Fi hotspots in quarters 1 and 2. A significant feature that is there to try and help our youth in the city of Joburg. Refreshing of laptops and desktops. The department has not updated any equipment due to poor financial management, resulting in no new purchases. So we're asking people to do their jobs based on tools that are not adequately proficient in being able to do their jobs. New WAN and lines. Only 5% of the planned network infrastructure was implemented. 5%. ICT uptime. A major outage occurred between September and October, during which all of the City of Johannesburg users lost access to emails and the internet. How in today's day and age? This is not acceptable. Smart City program implementation, key focus point of the city that we keep sprouting on about and we all want to see get achieved. Smart program hasn't been implemented. There's been no advancement in this vital initiative essential for modernizing our city's infrastructure. Data center upgrades. A mere 1% of planned upgrades have been completed, leaving the system vulnerable and outdated. If you were in school, this would be a fail. If you were in the corporate sector, you would have been fired a long time ago. I don't know how we carry on doing this. Financial management. The department has failed to manage its finances effectively, achieving few of its financial management goals. The SCOA project, there's been very little movement on this project that was supposed to have been fully implemented in 2014. That's 10 years ago. It still doesn't look like the project is much closer to being completed than it was 5 years ago. Human resources, as the department outsources most of its processes and achieves 67% of its targets with 12% employment, the organogram is obviously incorrect. Mr. Machala has had 5 years to change the organogram to match the reality of the department and has done nothing about the misrepresentation of this department. These are facts. Given these significant shortcomings, it's clear that Mr. Machala leadership has not only been inadequate, but he has also failed to position the ICT company department to support the city's aspirations of becoming a smart city. The role of Group Executive Director of ICT is pivotal in transforming our city's technological infrastructure, in ensuring efficient service delivery and safeguarding data security. Unfortunately, the track record does not inspire confidence that can lead this department into the future. We as the Democratic Alliance strongly believe that the City of Johannesburg deserves a better and stronger ICT sector leader who can meet the challenges of today and tomorrow with the ever-changing technology landscape. Our city's reliance on robust and innovative ICT solutions cannot be overstated. We need a leader who can effectively manage the resources, deliver on key projects, and drive a smart city initiative, making Johannesburg a beacon of technology advancement, making it a beacon of Africa then. In conclusion, we urge the council to reject the appointment of Mr. Aubrey Machala as the Group Executive Director of Group Information Technologies, Communication and Technology Management. The stakes are too high and the performance record too concerning to justify this recommendation. We must prioritize finding a candidate with a proven track record of success and a clear vision. Let us maintain commitment to transparency, accountability, and the highest standards of governance. Our city's future depends on it, and we owe the residents of Johannesburg a better result to ensure that we appoint the right leaders for the job. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ran. Councillor Ngwenya from the EFF.
Speaker, thank you so much. Once again, Speaker, we are being guided here by a selection panel. Maybe let us elaborate a little bit on the selection panel. The people that sit on the selection panel, abana degree, abana metric. They don't have metrics like ourselves. They've got degrees. They're qualified to be there. For people, for some of us to come here and undermine their knowledge and understanding is totally unacceptable. And it's misleading. We keep on telling, these people are educated people. It's a selection. Maybe let us pull our qualifications to here as well, give it to them and show them for us to undermine them. As a selection panel, your hatred of selection panel, I don't want to mention name, it goes beyond. But anyway, let me come here. Speaker, as EFF, we've actually acknowledged the views. However, we do have few questions. If I were to then put them there, is that when you look at the report, one would then be able to see that why are those that are unemployed yet shortlisted individual not considered? Is it because of the scoring of those, or scoring that those are not considered? What if the unemployment is just what those people want for them to shine? Speaker, is it then not maybe that an existing working candidate are the problem of the challenges faced in COJ? So as an EFF, with the question raised, as EFF, we are noting with an acknowledgement of the four recommendation and request that in future, siyacela Speaker, selection panel, unemployed people must also, if they do fall within the qualification, they must also be hired. Siyanicela, please. With that being said, I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya. Councillor Esenguse.
Thank you, Speaker. Let me just piggyback on what Councillor Ngwenya alluded to. And I want to challenge our colleagues from that side. You know, statistics do not lie, or numbers do not lie generally. If you look at the number of graduates in the institutions of higher learning, mostly are black. You can even go and visit your census, and different scholars will tell you that black people in general are graduating in numbers. But the only problem with them, it is the system that is created to always or to perpetually sideline them when it comes to strategic positions. And we are not going to buy or agree with the Democratic Alliance when it comes to competency. Competency is not in their nature. What works for them is the color of the skin. For that reason, what we're then saying, Speaker of Council, is we are in support of this position to be filled ASAP to stabilize ITC in the city of Johannesburg.
Just hold on, Councillor Nkuze. Councillor Belinda.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to call Councillor Rise on Rule 72. He's misleading the House. He's just said what happens for the Democratic Alliance is the color of their skin. How does he know our Constitution? He must withdraw that, please.
Councillor Nkuze.
But I can always reference Speaker with their president.
Councillor Nkuze. If you said it works for the Democratic Alliance, the color of their skin, just withdraw that.
Maybe it is my English, Speaker. It is my.
Can we listen to him? Otherwise, we won't know what he's saying.
Maybe it is my English, Speaker. If someone is offended with my English, by the way, it is not my mother tongue. Let me unconditionally withdraw to offend individuals who are offended.
Thank you, Councillor Nkuze. Thank you.
I will never reference with John Steinhazel.
Councillor,
but we are in support.
Councillor Nkuze and Councillor Belinda. Councillor Nkuze and Councillor Belinda. I'm sitting from where I'm sitting. I can see what's happening. So I am saying Councillor Belinda and Councillor Nkuze. Councillor Belinda, you know what happened. You know. Councillor Nkuze, continue, please. Councillors, please. Councillors, please. Can we not do that? Councillor Nkuze, can you carry on?
Speaker, we are further proposing, maybe this is an executive discussion though, because issues of technology are critical. Maybe what we can then do from an executive point of view is to try and make sure that issues of technology are part of the key performance indicators for different individuals in management. Thank you very much.
Thank
we
you,
are in support.
Councillor Nkuze, thank you. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your point is noted, Councillor Ngwenya, on always also considering those who are unemployed because we know our unemployment statistics are quite high. But Madam Speaker, I do want to say that I think everybody accepts criticism. Nobody would want to lead and then you don't accept criticism. We accept criticism, but it must be constructive criticism. And the same must go to the administration. If there is criticism, that's why we've got oversight committees, Section 79, where councillors hold the executive and the EDs accountable, constructively to build the city, but not by dragging people to the courts, not by hailing insults to people, constructively so that you guide,
Stop talking when I'm talking. Don't do that.
MMC, order on you. MMC, order on you.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
MMC,
Don't.
councillors. Are you all done? Are you all done? Are you all done? Are you all done? I don't need to hear yes, I need you to just be done. Councillors, it started with Councillor Belinda and Councillor Nguze. And now it's MMC and another councillor. And I'm Councillor Rainton. And I'm not going to allow anybody to lift your hand, and I'm not going to allow anybody. I'm just saying, Councillor Nguze, Councillor Belinda, Councillor Rainton, and MMC Masuku, let's not do this. MMC, can you finish? And can we not do what we are doing?
Thank you for protecting the House, Speaker. As I was saying, that let us make sure that there's stability. Let us provide constructive criticism to enable the city to function. Let us make sure we fill the Section 56 vacancies to make sure that there's leadership in the city of Johannesburg that will drive the vision in line with our GDS 2040. Thank you, Speaker. I ask Council to approve the report.
Thank you, MMC. Councillors, the recommendations are on page 91.8 to 91.9. Is the item agreed to? The agreeds have it. Councillors, you've already said agreed and not agreed. The agreeds have it. Can I take Councillor Christians?
Thank you, Speaker. In terms of Rule 84, I'd like you to note the dissent of the Democratic Alliance for this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Christians.
Councillors, we proceed with item 92, which is the recruitment and appointment process of the Group Executive Director for Group Corporate and Shared Services position.
Can we start with Councillor Action SA in Konyeni? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Apologies if I don't. Is the councillor not here? We'll go to the next councillor. Councillor Enran. Councillor Ran.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. I think I'm going to mix up my speech a little bit here. I'm going to start with the end and then work my way backwards, because I actually thought I was giving constructive criticism and our points of note, but then it degenerated into a race and an education and an everything else scenario, which is not what I said, for clarity's sake. But I do find it interesting how everybody keeps going there. So, I think we live in a country where, first of all, the average person out there...
Just hold on, Councillor Ran. There's a noise coming from the back on my left-hand side. Can we please allow whoever's on the podium to speak? If you have a point of order, lift your hand. Thank you, Councillor Ran.
We're in very interesting times at the moment, and I think as a patriotic South African, I would hope to think that everybody in the House is, because we are all public servants, that we really want what's best for this country. And with that, we have a responsibility to make sure that we've got the right people in place, whether that be an education level or a creed, race, gender. If it's the right fit person for the job, then that should be the person that gets appointed. I think we've seen in news articles and the likes of to date that criminals don't seem to see race, gender, or education. And the poor people of South Africa that are affected, I don't think they care either when their money has been stolen, or they've been hijacked, or they've been attacked, or they've been the unfortunate victims of gender-based violence. I mean, I'm just throwing out some examples here. So how as professional public servants we sit here and we make this about things that it is not about to deflect is, I find, interesting. But anyway, one of the points that was made that was constructive, I thought, was maybe we should be looking at our selection panels, because maybe our selection panels are not producing the best candidates put forward for these positions. But so I'm in agreement with my fellow colleagues on that. So I'm going to start at the end here and say we are not supporting this appointment, not because of race, creed, gender, religion, or anything along those lines, but purely because we feel that the cart has been put before the horse. Okay. The candidate is currently on suspension and the process is still ongoing. So you are innocent until proven guilty, but there is a process ongoing at the moment. So to push forward this appointment at this stage is potentially going to cause a lot of bad publicity for the city and get us into a lot of hot water that could be unnecessarily avoided. So I'm then going to go to the beginning of my speech and explain my reasonings for saying this, okay, before I get accused of something else. So we don't agree with the appointment of Mr. Ruda at this point. We are saying that we'd like to see this report delayed until the process of the disciplinary is finalized. Reasons being is that the suspension is ongoing and the disciplinary action needs to see its fruition. Okay, and as I mentioned, that could be in Mr. Ruda's favor or against him. I'm not part of that panel, but I think we need to let the process unfold so that should he be appointed, there is an appointment of integrity. We know that he's cleared his name and that we are sitting with the right person for the job. We believe that this is currently premature because we're rushing into this for that exact reason that I've mentioned. And then I need to just mention the legal and ethical considerations. While the law does not prevent the appointment of an individual under disciplinary review, okay, proceeding with his appointment could place the city of Johannesburg in a precarious position. The possibility of appointing somebody who might later be found guilty of serious misconduct could have far-reaching implications for the city. And our responsibility is to uphold the good name of the city and do what is right for the city of Joburg and our residents. So in conclusion, I'm not going to reiterate what I've just said. I think I've made myself quite clear. We cannot, at this point, in good conscience, support this appointment. We really do hope that the executive considers delaying this so that we can have a clean slate appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ryan. Can we have Councillor Jay Ngwenya from the EFF?
Yeah. Speaker, thank you. From the EFF side, we have observed that candidate 1 and candidate 2 both have same scoring and same ranking. With that being said, we are then saying we are noting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya. Can I have Councillor Nguze? Yes, Nguze.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but I do not know what is patriotic if someone burns the South African flag. Patriotism is something that scholars can always debate, but I'm not there because I don't want this discussion to go further. Speaker, this is a human resource issue, a very sensitive department in any organization. And I don't want us to be politically, but I want us to be frank. The African National Congress believes that this will really bring stability in the city of Johannesburg. We sit in that committee, we have noticed problems in some entities, and we are not in a position to speak frankly and challenge certain things. So we're calling for this position to be attended ASAP in the interest of organized labor, by the way. We are cognizant that they've been saying the matters that are brought to the attention, their disputes are also dragging. We believe that this matter will then, the appointment will then assist us in terms of stabilizing HR and move forward. We are therefore saying, Speaker, we are in agreement with what is in front of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Nkuze. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think I need to put it on record that Mr. Mbulelo Ruda is not on suspension. That is not true. He's actually not on suspension. It must be noted for the record. And I think Councillor Ran, when she requests that a report be delayed, but in her own comments, she indicates that there is no law that prohibits an employment of any candidate who is suitable. And I'm happy she didn't dispute the suitability of the candidate because Mr. Ruda has the credentials, the experience. She says we must delay the appointment, but there is no law that says a person may not be employed. And I think we must not discriminate and put people as guilty. Allow the process. If for any reason something comes out, then it is for the council then to come. We'll have to bring a report and be transparent about it, because as the government of local unity, we are. But we are continuing with stabilizing the city of Johannesburg and making sure that the right people fit for purpose. Fit for purpose is a language that we learned from the other side, and Mr. Ruda is that one of those candidates, and we ask council to approve the report.
Thank you, MMC Masuku. We are, the recommendations are on pages 92.11 to 92.12. Is the item agreed to? So have it. Councillor Belinda, sorry I can't pronounce your surname.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. No, we note that you saw us too late. We wanted to ask for a 2-minute caucus break, but it's okay. You've already proceeded. If it's still possible, it'll be great, but if not, then we'll understand.
Just hold on, I'm going to consult, but I think we've agreed, but I'm going to consult, okay? Can we come back in? Okay, yo. The DA, can Councillor Belinda report back? I'm not sure, there's a caucus that's outside that hasn't asked for time to be out to have caucus, and we are continuing.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. We're ready to proceed.
Thank you, councillors. I also, just before the break, the item has been carried. The yeses have it. Councillor Christians.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I rise in terms of Rule 84. During the speech, you would have heard Councillor Rand say that we are dissenting on this, but based on the information received from the MMC, from the queries raised in the speech, the DA is now changing his vote from dissent to abstain, and we hope that if there's any irregularities, Councillor Masoko will bring a report to Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Christians. On a very light note, I used to call you 72, I'll call you 84 now. Councillor Belinda, that's between myself and Councillor Christians. Thank you. Okay, councillors, we are now going to proceed to the next item. Councillor Mosetla.
Thank you, Speaker. When the item was closed, the DA had dissented. And they come back and say they abstain. What is going to be in the records? I would like to seek that clarity from you. Thank you.
Councillor Mosetla, when we closed, I said the item, the yeses had it. The DA did not say they dissent. The DA requested for a 2-minute break, which they changed to a 5-minute break, and they now came back and they now say they are abstaining. And we will check that on record, but I think everybody on the table agrees with what I'm saying, so they only came back now to say they abstain. Thank you very much. We're on to the next item.
Item 93, recruitment and appointment process of the secretary to council position.
We have also asked the acting secretary to recuse himself, so you'll find he's not in the house. I thank you. Councillor Lebatlang.
Thank you, Speaker. Action SA would like to request a 20 minutes caucus break. Thank you very much.
Councillor Lebatlang, we are granting you the 20-minute break, but the DA asked for a 5-minute, you decided to have extra minutes. Can we please, can all of us in the house respect the time and respect the house? If you don't respect anybody else, at least respect the house. And you come back at 20 to 1. Exactly. That sounds disrespectful. one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The old ones, yeah. Can we have a motion on that one? That we have a big clock here?
You're just giving away your age.
Can we be seated? What is that? Dry food? Can we get the councillor that asked for a 20-minute break to report back to us? I believe there's a lot of councillors outside. Can I ask that the bell gets, or the drums gets drummed? Yeah, no, today's the other day. They must get it drummed. People are not coming in on time. Thank you, drums. Thank you, drums. Thank you, drums. Thank you, councillors. Councillor Lebatlang, can you report back?
Thank you, Speaker. Action SA, we are sorted. Thanks.
Thank you so much for being sorted. Councillor Rapadu.
We know, Speaker, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. We know it's per your discretion that you grant us time to go and caucus. But it can't be that when people ask for caucus, they just come back and say we're okay. It can't be. It's frivolous and it's just a waste of time. So people need to be concise and clear on what they want to say. They can howl, they're howlers, I know, I'm not bothered.
Thank you, Councillor Rapadu.
Speaker, please.
Thank you.
Just like that.
Councillor Rapadu and councillors from Action SA. I'm not sure, is it the water or what is it, but something today is just not doing well. Please, please. Or maybe you all had Edgar dolls this morning. Thank you, councillors, or grandpa. Okay. Thank you, councillors. We are on item 93. Can I get Councillor Enran to send colleagues on my right. Colleagues on my right. No, I didn't say which party. I said colleagues on my right in the third row from the front. The fourth row from the front. Please, colleagues. Councillor Ran?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings, everybody, after the 20-minute caucus break. So as we stand here today, we are now looking at one of the most important positions of this House, which is the appointment of the Secretary to Council. So as the Democratic Alliance, I am very pleased to express that we are supporting this recommendation. We don't always just oppose for the sake of opposing. But I do need to point out that it's because he's black and male. Okay.
Councillor Ran, Councillor Ran, please don't.
No.
Please don't.
I withdraw.
I will give you other water, please don't.
I will withdraw, Madam Speaker. Okay. We are supporting the recommended candidate of Mr. Andile Gobinka for the reason that he has been a wonderful acting Secretary to Council. The position is vital, and he has maintained the integrity and functionality of our council thus far, and we believe that he is exceptionally well suited for this role. Our support for him is grounded in his commendable performance while acting in this position over the past period, and he has demonstrated a profound commitment to his role and responsibilities, which he has taken seriously. Mr. Gobinka has consistently taken his duties seriously and professionally, ensuring that the Council's affairs are managed with a high degree of professionalism and efficiency. One of the most significant qualities of Mr. Gobinka, in our opinion, he has exhibited is his impartiality and objectivity in a role that requires navigating diverse political landscapes and interests. He has maintained a neutral stance, treating all council members and council matters with fairness. This impartial approach has been crucial in fostering a respectful and constructive environment within our council chambers. Under Mr. Gobinka's leadership, the council has seen improvements in its management and operations. His effective oversight has ensured that procedures are followed correctly, meetings are conducted efficiently, and the council's documentation is handled with meticulous care. This professionalism has not only facilitated smooth council operations, but has also bolstered the confidence of council members and the public in our governance procedures. In conclusion, in light of these reasons, the Democratic Alliance strongly supports this appointment to Secretary of Council. Mr. Andile Gobinka's proven track record of professionalism, impartiality, and effective management makes him the ideal candidate to continue in this crucial role. We are confident that this continued leadership will enhance the Council's functionality and uphold the principles of good governance in that we all strive to maintain. We urge the Council to approve this appointment effective 1 August or as soon as possible thereafter, and we will continue to service with undoubtedly benefit the Council and, more importantly, the residents of Joburg. We thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ran. Councillor Ngwenya, EFF.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, siyabonga for the fact that the selection panel has finally been acknowledged of the great work that they've done. Once more, it's a guide of a selection panel. Ngicela ukuyisho futhi again, selection panel. With that being said, as an EFF, we are noting with an acknowledgement of the 4 recommendation. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya. It's good to see that you have recovered so well, Councillor Ngwenya. Councillor Shuma from Action SA.
All right. No, thank you so much, Speaker, and thanks to the fellow councillors. I think as Action SA, it's very important that we put into context our position. So we don't have any problem with the current acting secretary of the council. In fact, they've been doing a great job. But we wish to state that in line with the requirement of the job, which is critical in terms of the legal background, and you will agree with us that it's something that our current acting secretary of the council is something that he is not in position of. Due to that criticality of lack of that requirement or meeting that requirement, we cannot in good conscience support his appointment. So we clearly not approving. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Schumer. Councillor Essenguse from the ANC.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Myself and Councillor Ryan, we are colleagues in the group corporate and shared services. And we want to appeal to councillors not to personalize what is happening between us. The level and the quality of debates that you see here, it is what is happening in that group corporate and shared services. But I think my colleague further motivated for the African National Congress. We are in support of the candidate, and we strongly believe that he did a good job when he was given an opportunity to act. And we hope and pray that he will stabilize this council whenever the need arises. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Nguze. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Councillor Ngwenya for real. Even in the committee, he's always like this. Speaker, I think I need to clarify, Councillor from Action SA. The advert was very clear, Speaker. The advert said, a qualification in law or equivalent NQF level 7, and it further indicated that you must have good command of English, and it will be an added advantage if you have the ICSA certificate. So the current candidate does have an NQF level 7, so he actually does meet the criteria that was set and approved by the selection panel in line with COCTA regulations. I thought it was important to put that into context. We do support this report and ask Council to approve it precisely because of the points Councillor Ran also raised of Andile's effectiveness. He's very meticulous and impartial and very neutral in doing the job of what a secretary to council is actually expected to do. And he meets this, and we hope Action XA can be persuaded to support him because they've been in this chamber with him, and I think his track record speaks for himself. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, MMC Masuku. Colleagues, the recommendations are on pages 93.8 is the item agreed to. Can I just go for it again? Is the item agreed to? The yeses have it. The yeses have it. Can we agree? The yeses have it. Thank you. Councillor Lebatlang.
Speaker, please note Action SA's dissent on this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lebatlang. Councillors, we are now on item 99.
Item 99, recruitment process and appointment of the Integrity Commissioner of the City of Johannesburg.
Thank you, councillors. Councillor G. Durant from Action SA.
Good morning, Madam Speaker and councillors, all protocol observed. I rise to speak on item 99. Action SA has carefully considered the appointment of Advocate Nolita Ntebe as the Integrity Commissioner. After thorough consultation and review, we have decided not to approve her appointment. Our primary concern is her limited legal knowledge, which we believe is insufficient for the complexities of this critical role. Additionally, we cannot advocate for the appointment of Dr. Stephen Ngubeni. While he has extensive experience and his expertise lies predominantly with the art of gambling and laws surrounding it, which does not align with the core requirements for the Integrity Commissioner position within the City of Johannesburg. Our decision reflects our commitment to ensuring that the appointed individual possesses the necessary legal acumen and relevant experience to uphold the highest standards of integrity within the City of Johannesburg. We would, however, support the appointment of Mohammed Ishmael Khan. Is the most experienced and importantly, no political affiliation. Second is Andre Gorm. His CV has substance and clear experience in all aspects of law. Action SA therefore does not approve this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Durant. The DA, Councillor Councillor Christians.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, maybe you're surprised that I'm speaking to an item and not rising on a point of order.
Well noted.
Speaker, we're talking here about integrity, and I'd just like to start off with the issue about where there's smoke, there's definitely fire. So when people start raising issues about other individuals, when we do not have any issues with them, but just talking to processes, then there must definitely be fire. And once again, when we talk about integrity, remember the burning of the flag was because South Africa was on fire and needed rescuing. And that's why at the end, you would see that the flag was restored because of the builders and not the breakers. Speaker, item 99 talks about an integrity commissioner. That means we have to ensure that all the requirements as per the advert by you are met. So when we give it to a panel.
Councillor Christians, can you just hold on? Councillor Nkumbi. I hope I pronounced it right.
No, we bump.
Colleagues,
Yes.
at the back, can we please not do that?
Councillor Christian is out of order. We are speaking about the flag of a country here. He is making a norm to ban the flag. It is something that anybody can be able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
They are speaking about patriotism, Speaker. So he must withdraw that.
Thank you.
He must withdraw that.
Thank you, Councillor.
No, he must withdraw that.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Christians, just withdraw burning please withdraw burning the flag.
Speaker, it's Councillor Nguzi who raised the issue about the burning of a flag. I just gave an analogy in terms of integrity. So it's
just hold on, Councillor. Just hold on. Can I ask that we don't make unnecessary comments which causes this house to go out into what it is going out to now? Can we please stop that? Can we please stop it? We have 104 items that we need to get through to, and we will never get there if we do what we are doing. Councillor Nkumbi, I'm not going to take a hand. I would ask that we don't give sneer comments any longer. Whoever does that, I will deal with whoever does that. Councillor Christians, just please also just withdraw so that we please. Colleagues, can we stop what we are doing? We are really not in kindergarten.
Speaker, I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to withdraw because
Councillor Nkumbi, can you just give us what must he withdraw?
Promoting the banning of a flag as if it's a norm.
Thank you. Okay, but no. Councillor Christians, can you carry on? I am ruling carry on. Can we stop what we are doing, please?
Thank you.
All of us.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Speaker, this issue of the Integrity Commission boils down right to where we are right now. When issues are raised, people need to understand the ethics behind it and cannot only have what is good for the goose and not good for the gander. So we need to continue in a spirit where we appoint an Integrity Commissioner who's actually going to follow all the rules. So the first rule, and I'm going to quote what the previous speaker spoke about when they were talking, there is a committee that was put in place to actually assess. But our job is not as people with only matriculants, matric, to then just agree for the sake of agreement. We also got to look at the other experts in the report who did the assessment. And when they say the assessment comes as marginal, we got to say, is it worth it to then appoint? Or should we go back to the drawing board? Because when somebody comes back with an assessment of marginal in a city that, to quote, is a world-class city, we cannot have marginal people. We need exceptional people. Therefore, it's with regret that I say, and I ask humbly of the MMC or whoever will be speaking at the end, and I think it's it's the chairperson Rapadu, that firstly, in order for this to pass, you need to delete resolution 3, because there can only be one person who's excellent. If a person came second, that means they were not meant for that job. So therefore we cannot ensure that the integrity of this house is given to a person who comes in second. The second thing is, let's look at the advert. The advert was very clear. The qualification for this is that one of the requirements which you had to meet was that you need to reside, in terms of 1B, reside in the jurisdiction of the City of Johannesburg Metropolitan Municipality. I have nothing against Advocate Ntebe. I don't know Advocate Ntebe, but unfortunately, she resides in Kempton Park. So therefore, she is outside of the city. Also, in terms, and if we agree to continue with what is happening in terms of a second place, which we don't agree with, Mr. Ngubeni resides in Durban. We're talking about an integrity commissioner who will be assessing us as councillors in terms of our fiduciary duties as well as financial mismanagement. Now, if you just go into investigating Mr. Ngubeni, he's been fired because of financial mismanagement. Now, is that the integrity we want? And that's why we repeat, delete resolution 3 and restart the entire process if we are not happy with Advocate Ntebe not living and not abiding by the regulations in terms of what you put out in terms of the advert. So, Madam Speaker, with that, unfortunately, if resolution 3 is not in, and if we have not fulfilled all the requirements, we will not be able to support this item. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Christians. I'm sure we are noting what you've said. Councillor Ngwenya, Chair Ngwenya, EFF.
Indeed, Speaker. EFF. Yeah, and we must say it proudly, so ungasabi, Speaker. Don't in full. EFF. Yeah, Speaker. In EFF we are being led, and we are at all times told ukuthi fanele sambe sesikolweni siyofunda. Now, when you see people mourning about ukufunda this and that, hey, we worry. In here, in an EFF, part of our leaders, doctors, Dr. Mkili. Eh? When we address you, we don't just address you as anything, it's doctor. So with that being said, as EFF, we are approving. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Ngwenya, EFF. Councillor Esther Guze from the ANC.
Thank you, Speaker. Ethically, morally, integrity. I'm very dubious standing here that Councillor Christian was the right person to speak on this item. We will recall, Speaker, there were wild allegations leveled against the said councillor. And what he did, he jumped the ship. So now, I think it was not a wise decision to allow Councillor Christian to speak on this item. However, Speaker, because we are driven by morals, we are then in support.
Councillor Nguze. Councillor Ran.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. If we could please not make this personal in the House. There's no reason that we are discussing an item, and a very important item of looking at the merits of an integrity commissioner. Okay.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
I said it before, I think people have done something today, but Councillor Nguze, let's not personalize. Let's stick to our speeches.
I thought I'm debating, Speaker.
Okay, no problem.
And it's disturbing that individuals will tell me
Councillor debate.
that CORs, terms of reference in terms of debating, I'm not interested in
Councillor
that.
debate.
I have 10 minutes and I must speak. If I want to spend the entire 10 minutes, I'll spend it.
Councillor debate.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. So I think I just touched exactly that Councillor Christian lacks integrity and is not the right person to speak on this item. However, Speaker, in the interest of council,
Councillor Nguze, just hold on. Councillor Christians.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, Councillor Nguze is making a serious allegation. And when he started off, he said it was an allegation. If he has proof, he must bring it forward. Because the Integrity Commissioner already cleared me of those allegations, yet he continues to bring allegations. He needs to withdraw that statement that I do not have integrity without any proof. Thank you.
Councillor Nguze, if the councillor has been cleared, let us not do that.
We shall wait for the report that he was cleared.
Let us not do that if he's been cleared.
We shall wait for the report that he was cleared, Speaker. That report was not given to this council.
Councillor Nguze,
I want to assist the Speaker. We are going to speak. In Kinga, abanginiki opportunity to speak so that I finish. How of this council were in support of that of the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Nguze. I think we are not going to have a discussion on that. We got from the Chair of Ethics and we are closing it. I'm not taking any other hands. We are done with it. Our discussion is a debate on the Integrity Commissioner.